Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining. So I kind of grew up in the States, left the Silicon Valley a long time ago. So my experience at Charles Schwab was right out of college. But I'm kind of really old now. You just can't tell. I'm Asian, so much younger than my look. So moved to Hong Kong about 16 years ago. So I've been in the Silicon Valley for a while in the startup world. I was actually at the bubble burst. I went through like 3 startups in like 2 years, right? So and that's when the Enron case, for those who are old enough to know what I was talking about. And then I was at Home Store where my CFO and CEO and were indicted for embezzling or insider trading. Sorry. So I've been through the works, right? And then I kind of moved to Hong Kong here and was in the startup world, built software, more of a product management mindset. And then I helped build a unicorn called ThinkLab. It's about 6, 7 years ago. Then I joined a real estate company called Great Eagle. You might not know the name Great Eagle, but I'm sure you heard of the Langham Hotel. So we own the Langham Hotel. So I do digital transformation innovation. And as part of the innovation part, I look at a lot of startups and I help them build their investment arm, and the business plan and everything, and help them, recruit one of the best mind in the VC world. His name is James Ang. He's from the Silicon Valley. For those who know, he was part of the Formulation 8 team that invested in Oculus, things like that. I hope I got the name of the fund correctly. So he's with us now, and he's helping us bring in a lot of deep tech. I'm involved in looking at a lot of investment deals that goes through our way. I'm a judge on a lot of hackathons. I participate one for Fifth Wall in Shenzhen. And I looked at it, a lot of startups around Asia, mainly. Some of hackathon I'm on or accelerate I'm on has international exposure. And then I do a little bit with a lot of investors in Hong Kong and the mindsets. And I realized the mindsets of Web2 investors are very different from Web1 investor. I can explain that. And then versus a Web3 investor. So Web3 investor is really new. And then I'm not an expert at all in the Web3 investor kind of deal, right? But I kind of fundraise, for a company in Web3 space, trying to learn what's a different mindset, and then valuations and the way they deal with it's a totally new ball game. So hopefully here I can share a bit what we think, how billionaires thinks, especially from Hong Kong, when they invest or when they don't want to invest. And looking forward to just chatting and sharing, and hopefully uh, you know add some value in what you guys all want to do. um Alex, back to you. Yes. Oh, well, wow. Thanks, Alex, for all the detailed information. When you were going through the presentation, a lot of thoughts are coming to my mind, right? Well, there's one thing. I've been working with a lot of Web3 company. I am in the Web2 company. We looked into investment in Web2, and I realized there's a big gap. Web3 companies, 90% of the companies that I've been looking at, I've been helping with their investment decks, and business models, working with founders and techs and stuff. They are following the hype, right? Like, for example, I have looked at, I think, about 25 metaverse company around the world. They want me to look at their deck and their products and stuff. And this is only within like 2, 3 weeks. And I only find one company, metaverse company, that I think that might have a chance of surviving after this year. A lot of metaverse, let's take it the very basic we know as the meeting space. Everybody's selling, come to my meeting space, let's have meeting. We have half avatar walking around with no legs, and then I bump into walls when I walk around because I'm controlling with the up arrow side. How backward are we, right? And then let me tell you this. You are right in the sense that you says that the metaverse is the next internet. But imagine this, in 3 to 5 years, I think we will be there. The new website for every freaking company, excuse my French if I ever use it, will be a metaverse. People will not be going to one specific metaverse, like how an e-commerce site first started 22 years ago. It was a big thing for eBay. It was the best e-commerce site. But then now you look how many company has their own e-commerce site. That's why Shopify is so big. That's why so many commerce, enabling companies so big. Why Wix was big, right? It's called, the reason why we're in Web3 space is because of decentralization. It's decentralization, meaning in everything we know as of today in Web2 replicates itself. Because we sorry, you're a human being. We're going to replicate things we are used to and we need to know and use and comfortable with, but with better technology and better experience in a 3D sense. So if you are doing any metaverse company that you said, we're going to come to my space and have meetings, you better freaking be better than Zoom, Team, and anything else. And the one company that I said you might have something because they have two different tech that I have not seen in the other metaverse that is big right now that's out there. You can name them. I don't want to say them because I don't want to get bad press on my LinkedIn anytime soon. So one thing they did really well is that they've been able to present the PowerPoint presentation that we normally see when you do your presentation Zoom, the whole things. They can present the PowerPoint presentation inside a metaverse atmosphere. We have not seen that. So I told them, focus on the tech. Forget trying to bring people to your metaverse and sell as a metaverse. Sell yourself as the next Zoom. Sell yourself as a better team because of your tech. The other thing is his metaverse is your actual real face in a mirror sense, and it walks. Right? I like to see people. Sorry, I love my avatar too, but it's sometimes why we crave to be in person is because I miss that smile, that smirk in someone's face when they don't agree with something or they have an evil thought, I want to catch those. Then I know what my audience is feeling. Forget my freaking avatar. They're not going to catch my facial expression if I'm happy or sad, pissed off at what someone said, or did they say something really freaking silly? I'm like, God, yeah, really? I mean, that I said was great. That's it. And I gave this person an advice. If you can do this tech right, you might be bought out very soon by one of the big guys. If you can present your video, once I play a video, because we all have videos and all that stuff in our demos, right? Presentations and stuff. We play the video, how we are used to in the 2D. If you can play your video and change the whole metaverse, immerse it as the metaverse, the video you try and play, then you have something. And then he said, oh, can you be on my board? I said, if you can focus on do that, I'll be on your board, right? Very different. And he said, but I don't have money to do that. I said, you don't need money to do that. That's why you need investor. You're building a new version of the future of the metaverse. Don't play with everybody else. If any investor invests in any of these metaverse out there right now, you're gonna lose your money big time because they will go away. People invest in the future. Smart investor invest in the future, things that you can't see. I love bringing this up. I'm not sure you guys still remember Back to the Future. In one of the scene, they predicted 20 years from where they were, when they receive a fax, the fax will go to any mailbox in the world that they travel to and they can get the fax there. But where is fax right now? It doesn't exist. So when we think of innovation and development, we're stuck in linear progression, linear disruption. Stop thinking about linear making sense disruption. Think innovation out of the box. Why do I even need a fax machine now? Someone did that, and then what did they find? SMS, and then what did they do? WhatsApp, right? Instagram, 2D, 3D. Think like that. And then please, if you're building any metaverse, do not create stairways for me to walk, a hallway for me to bump around before I get to the party where all the damn beautiful women, men supposed to be dancing around, having music, or looking at the beautiful gallery. Freaking A. I'm like walking around bumping and I'm like, shit, I can't even control my thingy. And then it crashes on me. I had to go back out again and log back in again and rebuild my avatar again. Why do I need to do that? It's so frustrating. Stop building in linear disruption, innovative, whatever you want to call it. God damn it, leap forward bound. We have the technology, we have the people, create, right? I love to work with founders and developers, and because I'm too bad no one have found my skill sets, but I'm great in building business model. I was mentioning earlier that I'm testing the market to fundraise in Web3 because it's so different, right? I built a business with little money. You can imagine off-the-shelf product to prove a new concept 9 months ago. And this is during COVID in Hong Kong with lockdown and curfews. So without the proper tech and team, my team volunteer as a pet project, passion project, we've been growing 44% in revenue, not user, revenue, with no sales staff, no marketing fund, right? Just word of mouth, self-growth, organic. And then people still don't get what I'm building. And it's frustrating, right? But now I understand how founders really feel, because you just need that one lucky, like investor that believes in you. If you have a great product, right? Either you have great tech or you're a great business model. So I built the business model before the tech because I need the money to build the tech because I didn't have money, remember? So it's like a lot of startups, they built the tech and they said, give me money to prove you the business model. There is a new way now in Web3. Okay, that's why we allow creator and individual person, people to build the business, because we allow you to build the business model before we give you money to build the tech to scale, to be global, and to pivot. Another thing to remember, Facebook, Airbnb, Google, and everybody where they are as of today, when they first started 20 years ago or 10, 15 years ago, they did not envision that they will be what it is today. I am sure Amazon did not think that they're going to be doing, web hosting and all that stuff when they start selling books online, right? I'm sure Google did not think that they will own Whole Food and Amazon Prime and all that other like Google stuff. Sorry, mixing the companies. They're so big, right? When they start, what to do? Search. So don't limit yourself. That's the wonderful space about technology. You can pivot, you can move. And that's another great thing about investor, right? They allow you to pivot and build and continue. I hope investor is not afraid in this crypto winter, right? I'm going to be writing an article soon about what I feel about the crypto winter and what I think are the lesson learned, and then what we should be doing. But that's just my humble 2 cents. But I'm very passionate. I'm really pissed off. You have no idea. I think you guys can tell of like how company are not really serious of what they're building in this world, regardless you're Web 2 or Web 3, and just following the trend. I said, why are you doing NFT? I want to track how much like the wine costs and who bought the wine for 4,000 Hong Kong dollar wine. Why would I care who bought the damn $4,000 wine? Well, maybe it's 20,000. I don't care who bought that $20,000 wine. Oh, okay. And then another one was like, I laughed. We want to do selling NFT to sell tickets. You can't sell tickets online now. Well, we can, but it would be great if you have a ticket stub. I can't say that ticket stub online now. Don't do it for the sake of NFT. Add value to that NFT. What we're doing right now with NFT, I think is so limited, right? There's just so much, and I know it's just beginning. It's fine. If you want to do it and you can make money in the next 1 year, 2 years, great. Kudos to you. But will it last in the future? I don't think so. Let's really build on one of the use cases I've loved a lot. It's really creative. You guys might not like it in a decentral land. I mean, sorry, decentral platform, didn't mean them. It's the idea that if someone steals your money and hack, right? Now a law firm, a lawyer can actually, send an NFT to your account. And then and if you open it, it's almost like a subpoena in the US, right? Open it, they have rights to seize your account and then lock in the amount that you stole from another account and take it back, right? So that's, to me, is the best NFT ever. Like imagine someone steal your little NFT, Pokemon or whatever they sell, and they found it, they track it because they can track it, which account took it, and then you can hire a lawyer and they can go and grab it and take it back for you. Isn't that great? But that's kind of like, defeating the purpose of being decentralized. But I think things like that protects us and continue to build and invest in this space, I think are great innovation. I give kudos to that law firm that actually did that. There's so much more, right? And for investor, I know that this is an investor seminar, so I want to add a little bit mindset. So I've been helping a lot of tycoons and billionaires invest in Web2 investment. Even for them, it's very hard because they're so used to investing in stocks. They have, GP to go to, they have annual report, they have ROI, and they can calculate and they're making money or not. But when they want to invest in Web2 still, as of today, they still don't understand why Facebook is worth so much money 20 years ago or now, why, Airbnb or any other company is worth what it is, and why are startups like Alibaba was worth like billions of dollars, when they're not profitable, right? So imagine them investing in Web3 space, where some investments it's based on token and not equity. Now that is a whole totally different, that is a new field for me too. Like, what does tokenization investment is like for Web3 companies? And I think a lot of Web3 companies still fundraise on the Web2 concept because not a lot of people know how to invest or fundraise in tokens. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, that the people who know how are not sharing, okay, is because they want to keep it to themselves. I hope if there's any investor who knows any investor who really does really well and know how to tokenize investing in tokens and stuff like that, how to use tokens to evaluate a company and then to fundraise. And then because we know that companies that are using tokens to fundraise can become $40-15 billion company within 9 months. We never heard of such thing in Web1 or Web2 companies at all, right? So it's a different types of investment. I don't know it. I'm want to learn for it. I'm trying to look for it. I found a few people I can tap into, but it's not something that people can teach you over a few hours, right? You have to be part of it and go through it. And the mindset is very different. And there is a lot of trust issues for investors, traditional investors who are getting used to invest in Web2. I'm not talking about VCs been doing that their lives, right? And a lot of VCs are not very sharing because that is their, how I said, their secret sauce of making what the fund is so different from others, right? It's really hard for people to share why they invest in certain company. They would share in general. But for a lot of like private investors or like, tycoons or family office and stuff like that, it's still a big gap in understanding why they need to give such high valuation for startups, right? And then they think that when they invest in a company, they want controlling shares. And there's one thing I got to tell you guys. Investors who are not technical, who has no strategic value or tech support or any strategic business should never take controlling share of any startup. Never. Because that startup will die, suffocate, dead in its crib before it even can walk. So don't ever give up your rights, to your company, at all to anyone. If any investor asks that, that is the wrong investor. They don't understand you, right? If an investor wants to take controlling rights, tell them to buy the freaking thing off you, right? And then hire you and then give you stock option back as part of the plan, and you help them continue. If they don't want to do something like that, then that is a very big red alert that you should never bring that investor in, because you will get lost and you will get sidetracked. That's my experience, and it's horrible, right? And sometimes you need to walk away when you say, you know what, this is what my company is and this is what they want. I need to move to another type of investor, right? So I think in general, that's what I want to talk about. Feel free to ask questions. I am better at it when you ask me questions. Not very good when I ramble on.
Like your talk now is much better than your keynote.